Hi everyone, I'm Dario, and in this video I would like to share with you my workflow that I used to get this kind of high-resolution pictures of myself in various situations completely using AI. This is an example of one of the pictures that I make. This is, for example, it's 16,000 pixels by 9,000 pixels. As you can see, it's a very high-resolution picture with lots of details, and it's very it has a very nice quality. And if you zoom in into other details like the shoe here or the hands, etc., you will see that it's a very high quality picture. This is not a tutorial. This is just I'm just sharing with you what I do and my ideas. And of course, it's not for everyone. You need to be already an expert on using Comfyui and all the nodes, and you also need to have a GPU with lots of VRAM, and also you need to use Photoshop or other kinds of photo editing software. And also, by the way, you also need to have something like Topaz Photo AI or something like that to get a really high quality upscaling of the pictures. This workflow is divided in four main steps. The first step is the generation of the picture using Comfyui and the FLUX 1.0 model, and this gets me the low resolution output of the picture. In this case, this picture here, which then gets upscaled to 2x inside this workflow, and then it goes to the second step. The second step is to upscale it 6 more times into Topaz AI, and that version of the picture will be then detailed in another Comfyui workflow, and those details will be output as single tiles, and those tiles will be composited into Photoshop. So it's not something completely automatic. It needs human intervention, and but I like to do it this way, and I prefer the quality of this kind of output compared to completely automatic. I tried to do it completely automatic, but I didn't like. There was always something that I didn't like about the picture, and this gives me total control about the results. So to start from the beginning, I needed to train the AI to produce my face using FLUX 1.0. So the method that I used is to go to file.ai, which is a website where you can train a LoRa of your face or whatever face you want. And I paid about $2, as you can see here, to produce this file that I can use inside the Comfyui workflow. I could start from scratch just by making an empty latent image and then writing the prompt I want. In this case, I didn't start from scratch. I usually to get inspiration or in general to brainstorm the initial picture. Instead of using a blank page, I asked an LLM, in this case abacus.ai, which integrated into the interface. There is access to FLUX 1.0 Pro. And in this conversation, I asked to make a picture of a person with curly hair holding a camera in some kind of dangerous environment. And I asked the AI a few times, and I got 2-3 versions that I liked, and I chose this one for this example. So I can put the picture here. And then let's say I refine it, but I re-render the picture again using FLUX 1.0 dev and my LoRa to get this kind of picture with this kind of face. As you can see, the face is not high quality. resemble myself, but it's not me. It has a very low quality. So the next step is to refine the face using the face detailer, and again using FLUX 1.0. And you see that I'm just using some kind of conditioning for the positive and negative, but nothing special. And then the face will get pasted onto the original picture, as you can see, a little better. Then we do the same for the hands, and you will see the hands. And this is the final picture after the detailing. I also asked the workflow to make this mask that I can use later for the refining and compositing into Photoshop. But this it doesn't end here. It continues to the upscaling. So I again use this picture, this final picture here, to upscale it. This time is only 2x upscaling. It is not something incredible, but I would like to do more here. But at this moment, this is the best quality I can get, because if I want more, I need to tile the picture, and the tiling doesn't work very well, and I can get to 3 times instead of 2, but I much prefer to save time here and then upscale it using Topaz AI, Photo AI. And also I need to do 2 different versions of this upscaling. One with the with this scheduler here, but I can also use normal or simple. This gets me a very high detail picture and a high quality details, but at the same time, if there is a background or something out of focus or something without details, it gets there are artifacts in those areas. So I do another version of the upscale with the Cara scheduler, this one, and this gets me a lower quality version, but it has much smoother background if it's out of focus. So then I will use the mask to composite them together. You will say, why don't you composite on the spot? You can do everything in Comfyui. I much prefer to do it later in Photoshop, because it's not something that it takes too long, and I don't get any issues, or I much prefer it this way. This workflow also produces the depth map and the canny map, etc. But usually I don't use them in the creation of the picture. I just like to have them for later use if I need to use, for example, the depth map. And that's it. This is the first step of the creation of the picture. Of course, I don't want to explain every little bit of this workflow. I will link this workflow in the description of the video. So if you want to copy it or use it, whatever, you can do it. Then there is the second step, which is the Topaz AI upscaling. Here we go. I just don't set anything. I just set the upscaling to the maximum with a high fidelity or standard, depending on the picture, which works best, and without any face restoring or other things, deblur, fixed compression. Sometimes a little deblur, but I prefer to do everything off, and high fidelity or standard, depending on the picture. So after the upscaling in Topaz AI, we go to the second Comfyui workflow. Here we go. So this is the second workflow. At the moment is working, as you can see. I launched the generation of the picture. So here I load the upscaled picture, the one that I upscaled with the Topaz, and I will reuse the same prompt. And then I will decide if I want to detail just the face or the entire body of the person. And in this case, to save some time, I just ask to upscale to detail just the face. As you can see, there is a step here which is tiling. It's locating the face, and it will be tiling the face in equal square tiles. And it will do the same also for the body, but at this moment the body is not selected. Here I have this selector here. If I select one, it will then use the tiling of just the face instead of the entire body. So in this example, as you can see, a bounding box detector gets to the tiling step here, the tiling node, and it will get me in this case 4 tiles of 1024 by 1024. It could be less, it could be 1 tile, it could be 5 tiles or whatever, but in this case it's 4 tiles. And I will use all 4 tiles to re-detail them at full resolution. As you can see, 1024 by 1024, and this is the result. Some details I will prefer the detail from this tile instead of this tile. As you can see here, there is these dots here I don't like, so, and it's not realistic, so I will choose them from this one, or maybe I will keep the ones from the topaz upscaling. In this particular case, the one that I show you at the beginning of the video, I tiled the entire person, and I used the tiles from the entire person. As you can see, there are a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like about 30 tiles or something, and I processed all of them, and it took like something like half an hour. As you can see here, to do those 4 tiles is 300 seconds. So it took like about half an hour to do all the tiles, and then those tiles will be exported into a folder, and then I will use them into Photoshop. Let's go into Photoshop here. As you can see, if I hide the base layer, these are all the tiles that I used to re-detail the picture. I didn't use all of them, but I chose the ones that I wanted, and even in the single tiles I don't use the whole tile, but sometimes I use just some part of the tile to adjust just the part that I want. The hair usually is the most difficult one to get right from the beginning, and almost always it will be replaced almost every time. The face, as you can see, some part of the face are kept from the original upscaling. After that, I will do some more. As you can see here, for example, this is the background that I talked about in the beginning, the background done with the Keras scheduler, which is different. And then this is the final version of the picture with some further refinements. Usually then I export the picture, or I create another merged layer on top, and then I move things around on the face to get the proper, is not always perfect, the face. I need to use the liquify tool inside Photoshop to morph my face to get exactly like I'm myself, and to match my real face. Usually the AI will get the right details, but the whole face shape or main shape of the face is not always right. So I always have to move things around to get the proper face. Let's see another example. This is a even more artistic, let's say, example where I used a similar process, starting with abacus.ai, and I asked for, let's see if we can find the picture. Here is the picture, the original one, and then I asked, using my workflow, I tried to get the same kind of results with the same camera, with the same jacket, but I didn't like the results, so I really like this one. So I just used the head and the hood here to put on top of the original picture. As you can see, let's see. Okay, these are the tiles that I used. As you can see, also in this case, I tiled the whole person and I detailed everything. And we can, for example, zoom in into some details. This is with the details, and this is without the details. You can see all the mechanical parts, the hand with the fingers, etc. It's much better with the detailing that I did with my workflow. And then I will do the same to my own version of the picture, and I do the tiling for the face, and then I replace that version on top. And as you can see here, then I put some adjustment to compose the picture in the best way. And then at the end, as you can see, I move things around the face to get the perfect shape of my face. So usually I use another picture of myself or the mirror or something to see myself, and I will match the features of my face. And then some last steps to get the proper look. Let's see another example. This is just the tiling, and this is the tiling on top of the base pictures, and some layers later I will get this kind of picture, very over the top. This is just a normal portrait, and as you can see, the face of the shape of the face is not right. This is just the tiling. This was the base picture, and this is after some adjustments. Another one. This doesn't look exactly like me, but I like the look of the picture. And this one, I think I didn't do much details on this one. I just used the mask. As you saw before, there was a mask, as you can see here. This is the mask. And I used the mask to do some compositing. As you can see, I replaced the whole background. So this is a case where the tiling detail didn't matter too much, but it was important to have the tools to do the compositing afterwards. Another similar version of my portrait. This one, for example, it was just one tile of my own face and nothing much. This was the original picture, and this is the end result. As you can see, also in this case, I replaced the entire planet and I added some details. But if we zoom in into the face and we hide, this was produced by FLUX, the upscaled version of the picture, and then I reprocessed just the face again, and I used only this one tile of the face, as you can see. And then I also moved things around, as always, to get the shape right. Last one, I think. Yes, this is the last one. And as you can see, this is the original. This is the face replacement at this point. This is basically a replacement, and this is the final version. That's it. So this is the workflow. If you like it, you can try to do the same. I think you will get very nice results. At least I'm getting nice results, and I will show you some more information. Like, for example, these are the pictures that I used to train the AI model, and those are about 200 pictures, and I used a tagging software to tag each picture. But you don't have to do this. You can do it automatically if you use file.ai or other similar services. Some other examples. Let's see, this one. This is another one. with the tiling. As you can see, a lot of details in the face, in the eyes, in the eyelashes and everything. I also try to do something even more, let's say, more difficult. This doesn't have to do with the upscaling, but just to let you know, you can also combine different LoRas to train different object or subject in the picture. For example, if you have two people, two different people is much more difficult, but you have one object and one person, you can combine those LoRas. And for example, I tried with my car, and I trained the AI with the pictures of my car, and also I combine it with the LoRa of myself, and I can get pictures, no, not this one, pictures like this, where there's myself and there is also the car. These are not perfect by any means. I didn't do much details or experiment on these ones, but it's just for showing that you can also combine different LoRas together, like a LoRa for clothing or picture style or something like that. You can combine them with the LoRa for the person. Here is the perfect example. I try to do something like I'm building a model of that car, which is not the model of the car, it's just exactly that car with those wheels, with those details and everything, and with myself, and it's working. So it's nice to know that you can do also that. And the car was trained with these pictures here, so not many pictures, and just nothing special. So that's it. I hope you like it, and if you want to comment, please do so. I will read all the comments, and I will answer any question that you have. See you next time.